Okay, so today we are going to be doing a cute little Easter make. We're coming up in a couple of weeks, so I thought it'd be a pretty good time to do something thematic. So we're going to be making one of these little baskets. They're really quick, really easy, and they're great if you're just looking for some sort of table decoration, or if you're doing a mini Easter egg hunt maybe. They're super quick to make up, don't use much yarn at all. I'm going to be using this cotton yarn here today. It's very soft, very sort of supple, so it means your basket is sort of very easily shaped. But if you want a sturdier basket, I'd recommend using maybe an acrylic or even a twine might be quite good actually for something like this. Something a bit sturdier so it can sort of hold its shape. But seeing as this is something that's, you know, generally quite readily available, I have a lot of it, I'd like to use some up, so this is what I'm going to be using today and it works just fine. So, so what we're going to do to start with is we're going to take our 3.5mm hook and pull out some yarn. Okay, so to start our basket, we're going to start at the base. So I'm going to start in the centre and work in the round, so from the middle out. I'm going to start with a magic circle. Now if you don't know how to do a magic circle, I'll pop a little link to a video of how to do that up in the corner. It's really simple, it's really easy, good little beginner's hack as well. So now we've got our magic circle. What we're going to do is we are going to single crochet 6 into our circle. Now when I say single crochet, I'm talking in US terminology. So if you were in the UK, that would be a double crochet. But I like US terminology, so I'm going to stick with that. So to do that, we pop our hook into the circle, catch our yarn, pull it through. So we've got 2 loops on the hook, and then we yarn over and pull through both loops on the hook. Okay, and we're going to do that again. So pop our hook into the circle, catch the yarn, pull it through, so that we've got 2 loops on the hook, and then yarn over and pull through both loops on the hook. Now we need 6 of these, so I'm going to do that 4 more times. Okay. So now we've got that, we can pull our tail and tighten that up into the very first row of our basket. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to work on the second row. Now what we're going to do to start that is slip stitch into our very first single crochet stitch that we made at the beginning. So we pop our hook in under both loops, catch the yarn, pull it through, and then you're going to pull that first loop on the hook through the second loop on your hook to make a slip stitch. Now what we're going to do is we're going to chain 2, so 1, 2, and we want to do 11 double crochets in total. Now when I say double crochet, I'm talking in US terminology. If you were using UK terminology, that would be a treble. So what we're going to do is basically we're going to do 1 double crochet into this very first hole here, and then for the rest of the stitches in the row we're going to do 2 double crochet per stitch, which gives us 2 chains and 11 double crochets. So we've yarned over, pop our hook into the hole, catch the yarn, pull it through, so there's 3 loops on the hook, catch the yarn, pull it through the first 2 loops, catch the yarn, pull it through the second 2 loops. Okay, and now we can move on to the next stitch. So we yarn over, pop our hook into the hole, catch the yarn, pull it through, so there's 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the second 2 loops, and then we're going to do that 1 more time into the same hole. There we go, and then we can move on to the next stitch, and we're going to repeat that the whole way round, so you've got 11 double crochets in total. Okay, once we've done all of our stitches, what we're going to do is pretty much the same as we did in the previous row to finish off, is we're going to slip stitch into that very top chain. So we at the beginning, remember we made our chain 2, 1, 2, and we're going to slip stitch into that top chain. So you're going to pop your hook into the hole, catch the yarn and put it through, and then finish off our slip stitch. And that is our second row. Okay, so now we're going to do our third row, and it's pretty much the same as the last one actually. So we're going to do our 2 chains, and then we're going to do our double crochets the whole way round, so 2 in each stitch. So you'll have 2 chains and then 23 double crochets in total. So to start, we chain 2, okay, and then into that same hole, do our first double crochet, and then from there on out it's going to be 2 per stitch. So and then into the next one we do 2 more, and we just continue with this the whole way round until you've done 23 double crochets in total. Okay, so now we've done our 23 double crochets, and we're just going to finish off this row in the same way as the previous row, and we're going to slip stitch into that top of the 2 chains that we did at the beginning. So there's the first one, there's the second one, and that's where we pop our hook. Do a slip stitch, and that is the end of our third row. Okay, so now we're going to start working on the sides of our basket. So to do that, what we're going to do is chain 2, and then we're going to take our work and we're going to just flip it over. Okay, one more time, take our work, flip it over, and we're going to just be working into these back loops of our double crochets. So you can see here your double crochet will be made up of 2 loops. You've got 1, 2, and we're just going to be working into this back one, and what that's going to do is create this little ridge here which will give our basket some shape. So we're going to yarn over and do a double crochet and pop our hook into the stitch, but only going through that back loop, and then we do our double crochet, 1, 2, and then we move on to the next stitch, 1 more double crochet, back loop only, and we're going to repeat that the whole way round, okay, until we get right back round to the beginning again. Okay, so once we've got back round to the beginning again, and we're back at our chain stitches, we're just going to do the same thing we've done for previous rows to finish off, and we're going to slip stitch into that second chain that we made right at the beginning. So 1, 2, pop our hook in, and do a slip stitch. Okay, so now we're going to move on to our 5th row, and to do that what we're going to do is chain 2, and then we're going to start working into the top stitch of the previous row. Now we're going to be going through both loops this time, so we won't be creating that little ridge that we were on the previous row. We want to make sure that we're going through the whole stitch, and we're just going to do 1 double crochet in each stitch from the previous row until we get right back round to where we started. Okay, and now for the last bit we just slip stitch back into the top of that second chain stitch from the beginning, and that is our sides completed. So make sure you don't cut your yarn, don't do anything yet. What I'm going to do is we're going to take our work and we're just going to fold it inside out like so, okay? Because now we're going to start working on our handle. So let me get some more yarn out. Okay, so what we're going to do now to make our handle is we're going to start by chaining 27. Now if you want to change the length of your handle and you want to make it a bit shorter or a bit longer, or your tension is different to mine, by all means feel free to adapt this part, but I'm going to do 27. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now we've got our chain stitches. What we're going to do is we're going to start working back into them. So there's our row, and we're going to do 25 double crochets. So we're going to ignore this first chain, we're going to ignore the second chain, and we're going to yarn over and work into the third chain from the hook. Okay, we do our double crochet, and then we go into the next chain. And you can start to see the handle beginning to form. And we're going to keep going with that until we've got 25 double crochet, or however many you've got, if you've adapted it, and we're back down, ready to attach our handle to our basket. Okay, so we've done our 25 double crochet and we've got our handle here, and now the job is to try and attach it to the side of our basket. So in order to do that, what we're going to do is bring the sides of the basket and the handle together. Now you can see that our basket is attached in this one here, and when we lay it across, there's this one in the middle which matches up with our middle of our double crochet stitch, and then this stitch here aligns with the top of our double crochet stitch in the handle. So what we're going to do is pop our hook into that second stitch, okay, and then we're just going to do a little slip stitch like so, and then we're going to snip off a decent length of yarn. Now I'm just going to tie that there, but we're not quite finished with this handle because, as you can see, there's a little bit of a gap, and I'm just going to stitch that together with our darning needle. Like so. So what we're going to do, hold our two sides together and just pop our darning needle through a couple of points of each, just to kind of remove that gap. And now we can tie off. So do that a couple of times. And then, because this is the inside of our basket, we can pop the yarn through the inside just to hold it in place. And that is the first side of our basket complete. Okay, so now to finish our basket off, what we're going to need to do is attach the other end of our handle to the basket. So what we're going to do is just take our yarn and cut off a length about, I don't know, 20 centimeters, maybe, probably less. You probably don't need that much actually. And we're just going to make a knot in the end, and take our darning needle, which has gone where? Oh, there it is. And then we're going to take our darning needle, thread it through, Now we need to work out where to attach the handle firstly. So what I recommend doing is flattening your basket with your handle in the centre. We're then going to take it, flip that in half too, and you should be able to see where it lines up. So we're going to thread our yarn, and just tie in those last little bits. Like so. And then we're just gonna tie it off. And then we can do the same as we did the previous row, where we can just thread our yarn through a couple of stitches, just so we don't lose our tail at all. And then the bottom, we can just snip that off too. And then we can turn our basket the right way round. And there we have it, our tiny little crochet basket. And you can use whatever you like. You can fill it up with a little egg. I've made a video for these previously, so if you want to learn how to make your own little mini crochet Easter eggs, I will leave a link in the description. But yeah, super fun, super quick, little easy make, doesn't use much yarn at all. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a little like and subscribe, it really helps. And yeah, please feel free to share any makes that you do on Instagram with me. I really enjoy seeing them and it makes my day. So thank you very much, everyone.